It's Victory Monday for the Kansas City Chiefs, and on today's show, we got some winners and losers coming out of that win over the Arizona Cardinals. But before we get into it, sub for Chiefs Dubs. Hit that subscribe button. We got daily Chiefs videos that are 100% free of the latest news, rumors, Overreaction Monday, live shows on game days and on Mondays as well. Hit that subscribe button. Join us here on the Chiefs Report every single day. If you want to find Chiefs videos on the daily, this is your number one stop here on YouTube. All right, so welcome into the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham. On today's show, we got some winners and losers to break down against the Arizona Cardinals. Hint, hint, when you win 44-21, it's mostly going to be winners. And if you missed it, this was an absolute bludgeoning by Kansas City as Patrick Mahomes went off. 360 yards and 5 touchdowns. The defense was locked in, especially those first 3 quarters, racing out to a 37-7 lead. A lot of receivers got the ball. It was fun to watch Kansas City go on the road and do their thing. And hey, maybe they'll return to Arizona this season. You know why? Because that's where the Super Bowl is in February. You want to be back out at State Farm Stadium later in February. So Chiefs were able to win 44-21, controlled the Cardinals from start to finish. The offense looked unstoppable and the defense looked much improved. And with all that being said, we got some winners and losers to break down from this game. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. We'll go to some winners first here. Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback. He's just such a special player. I mean, we're running out of superlatives at this point. Just look at the numbers. 30 of 39, 365, 5 touchdowns, no picks. Like, what else do you have to prove if you're Patrick Mahomes at this point? All offseason, I don't know. Tyreek's gone. You know, he may not be the same. Things are going to look a lot different. The Chiefs' offense did whatever the hell they wanted for 4 quarters. Mahomes could have thrown for 500-plus and 8 touchdowns, and they could have scored 60-plus points. I'm serious. It was that clinical. The only time they got stopped was when Juju fumbled the ball, and Arizona was able to recover it. But this was such a dominant performance by this offense and by this quarterback. It was clinical. And by the way, they missed a couple throws downfield to an open McCole Hardman, so it could have even been worse for Arizona. Patrick Mahomes is locked in. He's going to have a big year. I made my call last week that he's going to win MVP, and now it's time for you guys to make your call. You guys have seen a game. It's one game, but I want to know, will Patrick Mahomes win MVP this year? Type Y for yes, type in for no. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's show, so sound off in the comments during this YouTube ad break. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, our next winner here on the Chiefs Report after a Week 1 win over the Arizona Cardinals. Listen, big year for CEH. Year 3, he's had some injuries. He's been underwhelming at times, but they finally did something I've been waiting for them to do. They throw him the football, 2 receiving touchdowns. When he was coming out of LSU, his catching ability as a running back was one of the things that attracted me the most as a running back in the NFL. And they haven't done it much in his career. 2 receiving touchdowns, average 6 yards per carry as well. Only 7 carries, but for 42 yards, very efficient on the ground. I've been begging for this team to throw this guy the football. I mean, I just think when they drafted him in the first round, I was like, oh, they're going to throw it to him a ton. He's going to run a ton. They're going to use him a bunch. And they haven't really treated him as a first-round player. Now, I've also said over the last couple of years that they should not have drafted him in the first round. That proved to be a reach. But you have drafted him. You might as well use him right and use him to his strengths. He can catch the football really well. I like this game from CEH. Hopefully it's something he can build on moving forward. Travis Kelce, our next Week 1 winner. And it's kind of like Patrick Mahomes at this point. Most weeks you could put them in the winners category, but I am choosing to put him there this week because when you have 8 catches on 9 targets for 121 yards and a touchdown, that's almost a perfect day. I mean, only 1 target was not caught when he was being thrown at during this whole game. He was unstoppable. And again, what did we hear? Well, you know, with Tyreek Hill gone, teams are going to key in on Kelce. It might slow him down a bit. No, Travis Kelce is still Travis Kelce. He's the most dominant force at the tight end position in this sport. He's a mismatch nightmare, and even if you key in on him, he can leverage you and just squeeze in between safeties and linebackers. We saw that one play where Mahomes timed the throw perfectly, threw it before he cleared the zone, and the ball's right here, and Kelce catches it in full stride. I mean, he's just such a special talent. 33 years old, more like 33 years young because he looks young despite getting up there in age. He's still Travis Kelce, and I expect that to continue throughout this season. More winners and losers to break down for you guys here in just a minute, but the Chiefs won yesterday, and guess who made money betting on the Chiefs? Your boy, Harrison Graham, and you guys can too. chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, promo code Chiefs125. Put down $100, you get $125 for free, and that is the way to do it. Plus, you look at the latest MVP odds. Getting close. Patrick Mahomes, second best odds, plus 600. You could have gotten him at plus 700 last week. He's moving up. Josh Allen's still the favorite there at plus 500. If you bet up $10 on Mahomes, you'd win 60 if he ends up winning it. I think that value is pretty damn good. chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, promo code Chiefs125. All right, a couple more week one winners, then we'll get to a few losers. L'Jarius Sneed, the cornerback. He looks good. He was great his rookie year, even though he got banged up with that collarbone injury. Last year, he was up and down, mostly good, but, had a slight sophomore slump, if you will, but still was good overall, especially for a fourth-round pick. This year, he looks ready to take off. 8 tackles, 1 sack, a TFL, a pass breakup. He's a guy you can play in the box and blitz him as a nickel guy. He can cover tight ends. He's a really good tackler. Great game for him. Really good grade from L'Jarius Sneed. You need your nickel back to be able to tackle, and he can do just that. I thought it was a really nice showing. All right, how about Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator? Listen, the Chiefs wouldn't say this out loud, but I think he came into the season a little bit on the hot seat because last year the defense just wasn't very good. They were pretty solid for a stretch in the middle of the year, but the first 8 games, the last few games in the playoffs, not that good overall. But through one game, this defense looks much improved. It really, really does. I think the Chiefs are going to be a lot better on defense this year. You add guys like Carlos Dunlap, who gets a sack. Trent McDuffie's helping in the back end. He did get banged up. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But you just look better overall. You're finally playing Nick Bolton and Willie Gay at linebacker full-time. Last year, they were hanging on to Anthony Hitchens. They should not have done that. This defense is going to be solid, I think. If they're top 15 in the NFL, hell, top 10, this team's going to be almost impossible to beat with how good the offense looks. Grade the Chiefs' defense against Arizona in this opener for the season. Type A, B, C, D, or F. I'd go A minus, maybe A minus because you didn't get any takeaways, but you hold Kyler Murray to 7 points through 3 quarters. You're doing something right. I'll go A minus for the Chiefs' defense. Let me know how you guys feel they did in the opener. All right, a couple of losers. Trent McDuffie, not because of his play. I actually thought he was playing pretty well in coverage before he got hurt, but he got hurt. Left with a hamstring injury. We'll see how severe it is as we progress throughout the week. With a quick turnaround game on Thursday, decent chance he won't play, I would guess, against the Chargers this week. But again, we'll have you monitored on the updated injury report. Obviously not great to see him go down, but the good news is when he was out there, he looked good. So when he's back and healthy, he should be a starter on this football team. Juju Smith-Schuster. Now, let me just say this with a caveat for all the losers. It's hard to find losers coming out of a game like this when you kick a team's ass, so take it all with a grain of salt. Juju overall actually played pretty solid. Had 6 catches for 79 yards on 8 targets. All those catches were in the first half. So at halftime, we're thinking, damn, he might have 100, 150 yards. But no catches in the second half. The reason I put him in the losers category is he did fumble twice and lost one of them. Ball security is important. I'm nitpicking here, but when you win by 23 points and you were up by 30 at one point, it's kind of hard to find negatives. But, you don't want to turn the football over, and especially put the ball on the ground twice. He lost one of them. So clean that up. Juju looks like a guy who's ready to have a big year. All right, how about this one? A little bit of a curveball. Remember, I'm having to dig deep here. Sky Moore fantasy football owners. Mitchell Renz, who's actually our Raiders Report channel host here at Chat Sports. If you want to type boo for boo the Raiders, you can. He asked me, should I start Sky Moore? I said, I wouldn't start him week 1. Let's see what he does. 1 catch, 30 yards. Looked good on the catch, had a couple nice punt returns, but I did wonder. I was like, it's his first game. I think it's probably one of those deals where let's see how the Chiefs look, how much they play him, because they're going to mix and match at receiver. And I was right. If you started him in fantasy, PPR league, you would have gotten 4 points. So not great. Non-PPR would have only gotten 3. But we'll see what wide receiver looks like moving forward from a fantasy football standpoint. But obviously, hey, play Travis Kelce. That's what I did. All right, so there you go. Some winners and losers from Week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals. If you missed the game, or if you missed any updates and want more, follow me on social media at HGramNFL on Twitter, as the Chiefs were able to knock off the Cardinals 44-21 in this season opening win. It was a dominant performance. It was a great win, and I expect that to carry over into Week 2 for the Kansas City Chiefs, which brings us to this. Who you got in Week 2? Type KC for the Chiefs. Type LAC for the Chargers. Who you got in this Week 2 matchup? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe, because we will have a live Chiefs versus Cardinals Thursday Night Football watch party here on the Chiefs Report. So subscribe, turn on those notifications. We'll have you covered here on Thursday night.